Hi everyone and welcome to Daughter of Fire Tarot. My name is Marie, also known as Daughter of Fire, and tonight I will be guiding you on this tarot reading experience. Tonight is going to be a card of the day, which is what we do here pretty often. We're just going to pull a card, which kind of sets the tone, and then we're going to see what else comes out, who needs to speak, what message needs to come through. And I'm just going to, as I start shuffling here, I'm going to go through the spiel that I try to put on every single video. If you like what I'm doing here at Daughter of Fire, please don't be shy. Hit the like and subscribe. And please take note for any readings you may see on social media such as YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or any other place. These readings are not meant to be used as legal, medical, relational, financial, or even spiritual advice in some cases, okay? Use your own discernment, and please don't be afraid to seek out the professionals in any of these areas where you live if you feel you may need to. There will be more people than just you here, so not all messages may apply to you, nor should they. That would be kind of freaky if they did, right? Okay, so let's see here. That's just a little bit quiet. Those first two cards that came out, they didn't want to stick, so today is the 6 of deniers, or the 6 of coins. Okay, so we're gonna get first the traditional meaning of this card, because as you guys know, I'm still learning this Marseille deck. I don't handle the cards very often, so I haven't memorized card meanings, but we always get traditional meanings for this deck in order to derive. So generosity, philanthropy, charity, kindness. I'm reading for somebody who is a giver of something. I want to know more about that. Spirit, what else? What else do you have to say about this giver? What's the situation with this person, or this situation in general? Apologies if my voice sounds a little bit weird, guys. I am down with sickness a little bit. So we have the Ace of Batons, the Ace of Wands, so really signifying new growth, new opportunity, new life being breathed into a situation. And we have Juno, the High Priestess, in the reverse. And we also have the Nine of Swords in the reverse. So I'm going to take a look at that Nine of Swords first. So we have doubt, suspicion, slanderous gossip. And then this is like what surrounds kind of a person that's involved with this person, this giver. Okay, this giver is dealing with a Juno in the reverse. And the meaning of this card in the Marseille deck is ignorance, accepting superficial knowledge, short-sightedness, shallow conceit, selfishness. And one reading that's from these cards, like, this is somebody that wants to give into a connection because they care about this person a lot, but they have quarrels with them over something that this person is arrogant about. This could be so many different things. Okay, I'm wondering what that thing is. So I want to go to the Green Witch's Oracle and see if we can get a symbol for it. So, Spirit, what is the thing that the giver, and I'll call them the taker, what is the thing that the giver and the taker are in a quarrel about? What is this Juno in reverse arrogant about? Hearing that this person over here is very vigilant, very protective, somewhat defensive of what the Juno in reverse is attacking. Earthworm, clarity, rumination. Well, it's not totally clear to me, so I think we're going to get something out of the guidebook here. But what I'm getting so far is that this giver wants to have kind of this giver wants the Juno universe to have kind of a, they're trying to inspire a new train of thought for this person. And it's definitely so far been an effort in vain. It's been an effort in vain. Sorry, we're just gonna get our guidebook to explain the earthworm. So let's take a look here. So the earthworm, so again, that's clarity and rumination. So the card meaning, the humble earthworm breaks down organic material and aerates soil, serving an essential function in the health of plants. Without the earthworm's work, the soil would be too heavy and lack the oxygen roots need to thrive. Additionally, the organic matter wouldn't be as well blended in the soil. The earthworm card reminds you that some essential work is happening under the surface in your life. Nature is bringing you close to your goal. It also suggests that it's time to confront what troubles you. Consider breaking down big emotions into less intimidating, smaller chunks that are easier to digest and understand. The reflection question for this card is, what can you do to help yourself when you feel overwhelmed? Again, I don't know, I'm hearing something like this person, this Juno in reverse is looking at earthworms in the, like, they're looking at things in the dirt. There's something that they perceive as being in the dirt. And this is something that this giver does not agree with. This is something this giver does not agree with because they see a bigger picture. They see that even lowly things in life contribute to an essential function. They contribute to the greater good. I guess one example, like just one that I can kind of think of that espouses this energy is people that look down on like fast food workers or low income or unemployed people. That could be the kind of person that this Juno in reverse is. They look down on things that they perceive as lower than them, but the giver has a different perspective. Okay. So I'm really like this generosity in this card here, this clashes with this person here. I'm getting that this could be, this could either be a significant other or a parent for the Juno in reverse, okay? And that's part of the reason that this giver wants to really turn this person around, because they don't want to have to cut this person off. They don't want to have to admit that maybe somebody that they loved or looked up to, could be so heartless, if you will. Why am I hearing like, this is bad because he's like canceled, but I'm hearing like Kanye lyrics. How could you be so heartless? Yeah, we're not gonna sing here on this channel or anything like that, but that's kind of the picture that this person has, is that the other person does not have a heart. They don't have a heart for the little guy, okay? Spiritual guidance for my giver in this situation. Spiritual guidance. Okay, so you've child of the cosmos. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. You understand what the bigger picture is. You may not have everything that this other person has. You may not have led the same life, but you understand that humanity is all connected. We all depend on each other, and you're open to you're open to thinking about people other than yourself. You are open to alternative schools of thought that don't come from what you were taught when you were growing up necessarily. You're somebody that has maybe kind of drifted away from a larger circle that espouses this energy, such as a family, a friend group, could be a relationship. Okay, but you have somebody in your circle close to you that you want to oh, pardon me, that you want to rekindle, or you want to just kind of wake them up, if you will. You want to wake that person up, but they don't seem to be roused by anything that you do. Doesn't matter what kind of a perspective shift you try to give them. They're not open to it. One more symbols here, Spirit. Sorry, one more symbol. And then we're gonna get some more tarot. On the floor here. So we have a mushroom. So recycling, breaking down problems. Okay, again, so this person is not an emotional person. They need to learn how to be more in touch with that side of them. They're not really empathetic. They do not connect with earthly things like a mushroom does. Okay, they are very, very material. They are very, very above the ground, if you will. Okay, it's very funny that we got the earthworm right next to this. But yeah, I'm getting that this giver, like this is your energy as the giver right here. And then this is this person's energy down here. It's really unfortunate to see that clash, because this is someone you are so close to. Really getting those strong parent or family or spouse relationship vibes. Somebody that's very near and dear to your heart and has been for possibly years. Tower in the reverse. Okay. Tower in the reverse. And one more here. Okay, we got a 7 of Swords here. 7 of Swords. And that's kind of funny, because that would tie back to, pardon me, that would tie back to our 7 of coins. Okay, I'm gonna put these down here. So we're gonna start with La Maison de Dieu in the reverse, so the Tower in reverse. And the traditional meaning of that card is continued oppression, inability to effect a necessary change, caught in an attainable situation, and trapped, imprisoned, oppressed. That is the connection. That is the state of the connection at the moment here. And then this card can be kind of, I think this can be signs of like a frivolous person. Bad advice or bad feedback. Like, let me get you traditional meaning of that. So that is the 7 of Swords in the reverse. Okay, yeah, arguments, quarrels, uncertain counsel or advice. Again, like somebody just giving anecdotes, giving advice that just, they really are not practical for the people that they're talking to. And I guess that will apply however it fits in your situation. This person at the bottom here does not have any empathy, so they cannot relate to the person that's up here. Okay? And that's breaking down the relationship, where you are wishing for this new growth. You're like, I want this person to see my side. I can understand how that is so frustrating. More spiritual guidance. And then we're gonna try and get a couple of notes about the situation here. Hello? Hello? Susan's just looking at me. And I feel like that's you when you interact with this person. You looked up to this person. You look at them like a little animal that wants pets. Okay, and I understand how that's frustrating. Empathic starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. Yeah, you take on a lot of this person's garbage. you take it on as like a failing of yourself, that you're not able to get this person to see the other side. And I'm just here to tell you that some people are not going to understand what something is before they go through it themselves. And that's why life is a great teacher, right? So I understand how frustrating that is. Just gonna sit down here. Get a couple messages here from this person. Looks like we got 2. My frustration is growing. Well, like, I wonder about what, right? Maybe you know what that means, but it's, my frustration is growing, and I'm ashamed of what I feel. So this, again, like I said, this person is not somebody that's in tune with their emotions, okay? They're not somebody that is in touch with concepts like empathy. They were somebody that grew up. I'm hearing that they're somebody that had a really, really hardy childhood. They were possibly neglected by their parents. They were possibly told to figure things out on their own. They were possibly carrying a household when they were little, like before they were an adult, and they never really got the chance to be a kid, right? They never got the chance to develop their empathy because that was not modeled to this person. So if that sounds like the history of somebody that's close to you, and this starts to resonate, obviously, like this would be your message here. And I'm going to take for you a card from the Disney Princess affirmation cards, and it's going to be an inspiration. Oh, that clock, old killjoy, I hear you, come on, get up, you say, time to start another day. Even he orders me around. Well, there's one thing, they can't order me to stop dreaming. Cinderella, one of my favorite Disney movies, one of my favorite Disney princesses ever. And Cinderella is somebody who recognizes that she is not in a privileged place, but that doesn't change her heart. And I think that that's who this giver is. I think that's who this person is. And you get frustrated. You get frustrated that people don't understand the bigger picture, especially those who are very, very close to you. This figure, this parent figure, or this person that you're in a relationship, they don't understand. You feel that it strains the relationship because it's a fundamental difference. It's a fundamental gap between yourself and that person, right? This Juno in reverse. If only they were able to turn it around, upside down, and be that commandeering beauty with an absolutely golden heart who knows her worth and can support others as well as direct them. Juno is the high priestess. Like, she's gone in and she's done the work, right? This person has not done that. They may not be capable of doing that because they're ashamed of what they feel. They're not someone who's comfortable with really getting in touch with their emotions, with their empathy, understanding where other people, underprivileged groups, marginalized groups, they don't understand what it is to live that kind of a life, right? So let me leave that right here. They don't understand what it is to lead that kind of life, and they wouldn't understand probably until it hit them. And even then, it's kind of a dice toss, right? There's one more right here. So this is Tangled. I haven't seen Tangled, Rapunzel, but imagine that you've been stuck inside for a very long time. What will you do when you finally get to go outside? Will you have a simple picnic or a grand adventure? Describe it in detail. This person doesn't know how to ask themselves to step out of the box. They don't know about the world outside of the one that they live in particular. Okay, they're very sheltered, and they may have all of the resources to leave that tower, like Rapunzel with her long ass hair, but honestly, like it just kind of, it gets lost in the fact that this person is ashamed of what they feel. They don't know how to explore. They don't know how to explore outside of what they know, right? So I'm gonna get a couple more cards of what's hidden here. Spirit, what's hidden regarding this connection? Be bold and make the first move. This could be signaling to you, and it's cardinal moon. You could be one of the cardinal signs here. I'm hearing Aries or Capricorn. But you could be a cardinal sign. That could be why you're very frustrated. Aries, looking at you, Aries. And being bold and making the first move may just be, you know, for example, setting your own boundaries. Setting your own boundaries before that person has the chance to tick you off again. Or it could be that you need to, you're kind of on the verge of deciding whether this person gets to have a seat at your table. And this card is kind of a confirmation that you have the go-ahead. You have everything that you need to know, and your knowledge about this person is solidified. It's not going to change anytime soon, so now what do you want to do, right? Is what Spirit is asking you. I'll put that down here. Sorry for any noise here, guys. I live in a really old apartment building. It's almost, next year it'll be 100 years old. And the walls are very, very thin. So I hear people going up and down the stairs like crazy. It's just real life. So yeah, one more card here. What's hidden, Spirit? What's hidden regarding this connection? These cards are starting to get a little bit worn on one side, and I don't like it. I think out of all of these decks that I replace first, it's either going to be my tarot deck, which will be really sad because it's super old, or it's going to be this Moonology deck. Balance spirituality and practicality. Again, like setting your boundaries, right? Setting your boundaries with this person that cannot step outside themselves, because you're wasting energy. You're draining energy on this person that doesn't think the same as you. Okay, everybody's entitled to their own opinions, but if this person is stressing you out, you know, you may want to weigh what kind of an input that person has on your life, or how often you expose yourself to that person. It's really unfortunate that this is somebody that's very close, and so you have that kind of complicated relationship of, you know, this is blood or this is my person, and we don't see eye to eye on this issue. We don't see eye to eye on this very important social issue, and it's really starting to bother me. You're not the only one. You're not the only one that's coming out with that. A lot of people are realizing that in these current times. So I'm not surprised that this is coming out. The individual could be displaying other signs of toxicity, I'm hearing. They could be, again, I was getting cardinal sign before, like Aries and Capricorn particularly, but they could also be a Libra. Hearing that they could be a Libra. We don't have any cards that indicate Libra, but for some reason I'm hearing that. And it's funny because Libra is about balance, right? And we just got balance, spirituality and practicality. And that's something that maybe this person struggles with. Maybe they are very fundamentally religious and they don't know how to let go of those teachings, right? You'll have to take that kind of how it resonates, that card, balance spirituality with practicality. So, I mean, but interpreting that card for yourself, you know, you have to look at what's on the table with this person. Know that you have this very deep bond with them because of shared history. You know, obviously they're a parent, they're somebody that's close to you. You're going to have that. You're going to be bonded, and that is a very strong spiritual connection. We are spiritually connected to our parents, even if we think we aren't. But balancing that with the practical fact that this person is draining your energy, you may need to just look at setting some boundaries, setting some strong boundaries with this person, and deciding how much more exposure of this you can take, okay? I'm hearing that we're going to get, we're going to get one more card out of the Starseed Oracle, and then that's going to be it for tonight. I feel like this is just a confirmation reading for somebody that's wondering about this person, what to do, how to feel, that kind of thing. Hyrith, longing for home, homesick for the stars. So I'm gonna, because I'm really getting that you identify with this kind of this star seed thing. I don't know if I necessarily believe in the star seed stuff, right? But you may be somebody that really identifies with that. So I am gonna read this out to you. This is, I really hope I'm not butchering this, but here, Hyrith. Hyrith is somebody who's Welsh can correct me on this. I know I have to be butchering it. Hyrith is a Welsh word that's difficult to translate, but it refers to a certain longing or homesickness, a yearning for a home or a place to which we cannot return. You'll resonate with that, I'm sure, regarding this. This unexplainable, unshakable longing for home is common in starseeds and old souls. Perhaps you've had it since birth. For some, it's a distant memory of a planet, galaxy, or star system in the universe that their soul remembers and yearns to return to. A place they may have experienced more than one Earth. For others, it's a longing for the unity of Source, a remembering of interconnected oneness. This yearning can lead some starseeds to travel, searching all corners of the planet to find a physical place that feels more like home. For others, it can manifest as a need to find home in people, communities, and relationships, a journey to find somewhere they truly belong. If you resonate with this yearning for home but don't really know where home is, you're being invited to remember that your soul chose to be on Earth. You're being called to fully commit to embodying your life. You're being reassured that you didn't come here alone and that your soul consciously decided to experience what it's like to be a soul in a human body on this planet at this time. That empathy that we were talking about, right? You're in alignment with the little guy. You understand where the lowliest of humans sits, and you have compassion for that. You're being called to anchor all of your presence, your personality, your soul, and your spirit in the here and now. To fully commit to living this life right now, to commit to putting 2 feet completely in. And the reflection question, also known as the Starseed Soul Inquiry for this card, is how can you commit more fully to your life? And I want to put emphasis on your life, okay? Because again, this person's been draining you. They've been draining you. You've been having a lot of conversations around a kitchen table. I'm hearing a kitchen table, and it hasn't been fruitful. Why continue to waste that energy? We're done here for now, guys, for the reading. But I just want to encourage you and let you know that it can be difficult to realize that somebody just can't come to confluence with you. It hurts. I've definitely had that happen to me. But yeah, just take care of yourself and watch for like, behaviors that really make you feel off, because that's a sign that you have to put up some distance, may have to remove yourself from the situation, right? It's never fun to learn that someone you love kind of just their worldview is warped, or their worldview is very limited, right? Very black and white. That's the nature of being human, though. And I mean, I feel like once you kind of progress, you start to come out of that a little bit. you start to understand who the little guy is. You maybe have some crappy situations that come your way and shake you up. Who's to know if it'll happen for this person that we're talking about here, but yeah. So just as I put the cards away here, I just want to thank you for sticking around for the reading if you're still here. And just a reminder that Daughter of Fire is a not-for-profit channel. Do not offer private readings because I don't believe in that. However, my link tree in my bio has, you know, links to other places where you can find me. I believe my PayPal might be in there, or my Buy Me a Coffee. I'm not sure which link I have in there. I'd have to go double check in time for the next video, but my link tree has all the different ways that you can support me. If you like these readings, if this information has done anything for you, you know, and you want to pay it forward, that's one way you can do it. But yeah. And hope everybody had a great new year. Great start to their new year. Sending lots of blessings, lots of love, and hoping that this situation becomes a little more clear to you as time goes on. Okay? I'll see you in the next one. Take care.